Okay, so first sentence, same thing as usual. We're not going to change the method that we approach this. What started out as an isolated incident of illegally dumping chemicals into a Johor river. So started here tells me that it's past. Anyways, you can kind of tell from the first sentence that it's talking about something that is happening, right? An incident. So literally, you can kind of tell that it's already past tense. And let me confirm it with my last sentence. The government did not, so here as well, so confirmed we have past tense. Okay, into a Johor river have escalated into a wave of methane poisoning cases. So here we see the word have, but we're talking about isolated incident, which is, in case you didn't know, isolated means it's alone, right? So singular. Okay, so here we're supposed to be using the word has. And this is my SVA. More than 2,700 people have taken ill, and it has led to the Malaysian Education Ministry closing all 111 schools in Pasir Gudang. So as you are reading it, so there's many ways to read it, right? You read it word for word, you can kind of hear the difference or hear that something sounded weird when I read it out. Instead of take ill, nobody says you take ill, right? You had taken ill. Okay, this is my tenses. Okay, because we're changing it to past tense. Closing all 111 schools in Pasir Gudang, this incident can be traced to a driver. So, okay, closing all blah 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 in preposition is correct. This incident can be traced to a driver. Okay, everything sounds correct. Let me move on first. To a driver of a tanker lorry believing to be from an illegal tire recycling factory. So the word here, believing, okay, it's supposed to be the word believed. And this is my tenses. So on this note, I just wanted to raise something. There are certain words that have very different spellings. So back to what Ms. Jamie said at the front, right? You need to know how different the same word is spelled in its different grammatical forms, be it adjectives, adverbs, nouns, etc. Okay, so these are the few that can get quite confusing. So believe, okay, here with the EF, and believe. So believe is my noun and believe is my verb or my adjective. Okay, so relieve, reminiscent and reminiscent, complement and complementary. So you need to know your spelling. If you're not too sure, go and practice more editing, read more editing passages. Okay, let me go back. The driver dumped 20 to 40 tons of chemical waste into Sungai Kim Kim instead of disposing it properly. So dumped, okay, 20 to 240 tons of chemical waste into preposition is correct. Instead of, conjunction is also correct. Might be correct. Okay, instead of disposing it properly as requirement by law. Now, something sounds a bit funny as you're reading it, right? So here we see the word requirement. This is actually currently my noun. But here we're talking about as required, right? As asked by law. So I want to change it to a verb. So this is my word form. So if I put the word require, because I'm just changing it to a verb, right? Okay, this is still wrong because you need to remember the whole passage was in past tense. So I need to add my ed here. So it's a word form plus a bit of tenses, if I may put it. Initial cleaning works worsened the chemical reaction as the contractor engaged was not experienced to dealing with chemical waste. So here, you need to know your collocations. So this is experienced in. Is my preposition. So experienced in doing something, right? Furthermore, the authorities also did not dispose of the waste. So here, right, it sounds funny, and the reason is because of this word did not here. So whenever you see a did not or a did, the word after that, it's supposed to be the root word. Root word meaning the word in its base form without any, past tense, present tense, and whatnot. So here I will change it to dispose. Okay, and this is my tenses. So here, let me just talk a little bit more about it. So there's two instances where you can automatically know you're going to use base form. So the first one was just now I mentioned the did not. Okay, so every time you see things like that. Okay, so could walk, might sit. Okay, for example. The other one is called the VNV rule, where you have two verbs and your second verb is basically in the base form. So for example, made is in another tense. Okay, her is my noun, so this is my verb, noun, this is my verb, and this is my root. So example could be heard his wife sing. So take note the noun in between might not only be a singular word, it could be many words as well. Okay, so just be careful. Okay, let him go, and then of course saw my idol perform. So these are all my root words here. This verb, this verb, this verb. Okay, so these are two instances that quite automatically should stick out to you. Okay, let me go back. Dispose of the waste in the river after concluding that they were no longer reactive. So here, right, I see the word they were no longer reactive, but they implies that it's in plural. Okay, let me just underline it still. Okay, they implies that it's plural. Okay, and my subject, we're talking about waste. Waste, only no S, right? So it's singular over here. So it will be waste. Okay, and this is my singular plural distinct. Okay, the decision was also taken due to the cost involved because the dire situation. Now, just now, like Romain, like Miss James also mentioned already, you should not be starting any written, no written forms should start with the word because or even words like but. Okay, so straight out, this should already stick out to you. And of course, there's a lot of conjunctions left you can put, right? So which one to use? Okay, so the word after that, or the few words after that, it's actually in a noun. It's actually a noun. Okay, so I will be using the conjunction despite. And this is my conjunction error. Okay, and so I'm left with two ticks, two blanks, so that's my two ticks.